So it's really important when you're in a group coaching program, ask yourself, and I think this is a really great evaluation tool, is, okay, how accountable am I holding myself to doing this program? And that should be the baseline of what I should expect from my coach. So that's the first thing, is that you, like my most successful clients, if you want more support, then you need to be showing up. And my most successful clients, like I said, they are, asking questions on it at least once a week inside of the Facebook group. They're commenting and sharing, offering perspective on somebody else's post at least once a week in the Facebook group. They're sharing either a win or a lesson learned inside of the Facebook group. And I want to take some time to talk about this, because I think another way of holding yourself accountable isn't you always having all the answers to everybody else's questions, but it's just you offering a perspective on what they're going through as it relates to the curriculum that you're also that you guys are all working through together, or sharing something that you made a mistake on and how you fixed it. A 4-year college degree used to be the stepping stone to the American dream. We played the game, we checked the boxes, we outperformed our superiors, and according to the rule book, we arrived. Unfortunately, we realized that this couldn't be it. Our legacy goals turned out to be much bigger than what we were promised as the American dream. We want more. The system used to determine our salary, but we know we have control over our earning potential. Now we are charting new career paths, leveraging our expertise into high value and high ticket coaching programs. And I get it. Having the courage to start your own coaching business and actually sell your program online can be tough. Look, it may not be easy, but it can be simple. In each episode, we're going to take a deep dive into one core growth strategy so you can gain a clear understanding of what's required to raise your rates, articulate your value, and deliver the best results to your coaching clients online. All you have to do is listen to what Jerisha said. If you are ready for a transparent, I'm talking all the way real, edge-snatching strategies to sustainably surpass your salary and build a legacy you're proud of, grab your castor oil, your notebook, and keep listening. I am your host, corporate engineer turned online business coach, Jerisha Hawk. And you're listening to What Jerisha Said. You decided to listen to today's episode for a reason. Call it divine alignment or intentional selection, but either way, you're here because you want to sustainably surpass 6 figures in your coaching business, but maybe you haven't figured out how exactly to do that yet. You're ready to structure your business model so you can earn more than $200,000 a year, working less than 5 client hours per week. Yeah, that's available to you. You're ready to stop the constant hunt for clients, and you want a lean launch approach to generating consistent sales month after month. You actually care about your clients and love to watch them win, but you don't know how to over-deliver without undercharging. You've got the fruit, but you don't know how to squeeze the juice. And that's why this episode today is brought to you by my hybrid coaching program, Leverage. If you want to scale your one-on-one coaching business without taking a pay cut by launching a high-ticket group coaching program, I encourage you to book a call with our Leverage strategist to develop your custom roadmap today by visiting jerishahawk.com/leverage. After you book your call, you'll complete an in-depth business assessment, helping you identify the specific gaps in your business that are holding you back from sustainably surpassing 6 figures in the next 12 months. No more guessing what the problem is. This business assessment will tell you exactly where you need to focus. Do not waste another minute. You're literally leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Book your call with our Leverage strategist today to get your assessment score. Visit jerishahawk.com/leverage to book your call. Hello. Hey, everybody. I'm super excited that you're tuning in today, because if you have ever enrolled in a group coaching program of any sorts, it's a really important skill set for you to have, or just awareness for you to have on how to hold yourself accountable in a group coaching program. This is, I think, different than when you're taking a DIY course, or different than just maybe you attending a VIP day or maybe a live event. Especially when you're in a longer container for a group coaching program. I think it's really, really important to identify and commit to what is required to hold yourself accountable so that you can ensure that you are getting the best results possible from this investment that you just made in yourself, in addition to how to just get the most out of the community and the curriculum and the coaching that is provided. So this is something that you've ever maybe been curious about, or maybe you're about to invest in a group coaching program and you're like, I don't really know. Do I need one-on-one support instead? Or maybe you're in a group coaching program and like maybe it's just feeling a little rocky as you're making the transition. So I wanted to create this for you as a point of reference, something that you can go back to. Even if you have coaching clients, share this episode with them if you think they need to hear it, because holding yourself accountable in a group coaching program, I think takes a level of, like I said, just awareness. And I want to have this conversation because this is what's helped me. This is also, I'm going to be giving you guys advice and perspective from my most successful clients. If you're new to me, hello and welcome. My name is Jerisha Hawk. I'm a high ticket sales coach, and I specialize in helping other coaches raise their rates, better articulate their value, and scale their high ticket group coaching program using organic marketing, permission-based sales, and lean operations to do that. And all of my programs that I sell, there's only 2 primary containers that you can work with me in. And they're both group coaching programs. So a lot of the advice I'm going to give you is from my most successful clients. And if these individuals have been able to go from making $3K a month to $7K a month to $30K a month to having multi-6-figure lean launches and really being able to take their business to that higher end of the multi-6-figure mark. Some of them are getting on the verge of crossing their first $1 million. I know this will work for you. Okay. So the first thing I want to maybe address is a lot of the time people talk about, well, a lot of the time people are on the line or on the fence when it comes to making a decision in regards to what type of container they want to invest in next. And, do they want to invest in a DIY course? Do they want to invest in a group coaching program, or do they think they just want to hire somebody one-on-one? And I want to break down these concepts for you because I think this is really important distinction to make, because I think a lot of people kind of muddy the water with these 3 types of containers and kind of like confuse what is what and what's for who. So the first thing, a DIY course. When anytime you're buying a course, okay, a lot of the time there's a lot of experts out there or people selling this stuff who use these words interchangeably, but I'm going to give you like the definition of them. So if you're purchasing a course, typically it is a do-it-yourself type of experience, meaning that like it's a self-study and a self-implementation program. Most courses only will teach you the information, not necessarily give you the level of access and touch points to help facilitate the implementation. And that's a very important distinction for you to understand. So when you're buying a course, sometimes people have unaligned expectations with the investment that they're making. So if you purchase a course, do not expect to receive a heavy amount of personalized support, or do not expect to receive a heavy amount of individualized attention. Do not expect to receive, people, you have 11 questions, someone's going to answer all 11 of them in a timely manner, because that's not the container in which you made the investment. A course is more of a do-it-yourself, self-study curriculum. And a lot of the time, the content in that course is more just like, here's the information. Those containers are not designed, or usually, again, by definition, are not designed to offer coaching support or offering in-depth community, or really being able to create that environment to help you with the implementation of the information that you just learned. So I'm not going to talk anymore about courses, because I think courses are a completely different bubble. And I'm talking about how to hold yourself accountable when you're investing in a coaching program that's like $2,000 to maybe $30,000. Okay. So this higher end, higher touch point, what have you. So the one thing that I always like to point out as a point of distinction for individuals when they're on the fence about, should I join a higher end group coaching program that's maybe $6,000, $10,000, $20,000, or should I just hire this one-on-one coach for maybe $4,000 to $10,000? And one thing I always want to address is that in a lot of group coaching programs, one-on-one support is always provided. It just may not be private. And I think I'm going to say that again. One-on-one support is always provided in group coaching programs. It just may not be private one-on-one support. And I think that's a really important distinction for you to make when you're making an investment decision or when you're inside of a group coaching program. Because a lot of times people will say, well, Jay, I want more one-on-one support. And it's like, well, anytime you ask a question, you're getting one-on-one attention to addressing that question. Anytime you bring up a concern or a decision that you need perspective on making on a group coaching call, you're getting one-on-one support. It's one-on-one. It's just not private. And I know some people will say, well, Jay, I'm nervous with showing up inside of a Facebook group, or I feel too vulnerable asking my question in a group container. And that's something I think as a business owner, you must work on, because there's a level of vulnerability I think that's something for you to just do some inner work on, or some what's really causing you to feel that level of hesitation with asking your question when you're in a container where everybody else is probably going to be experiencing the exact same thing you're going through right now. Because if you guys are all in a group container designed to achieve one program promise, any of the issues, problems, or whatever that you're experiencing, I can almost guarantee somebody else has thought it or already gone through it. So that's something I want to just break down and distinguish between that. In a group coaching program, one-on-one support is provided, but it may not be private. And that's a conscious decision you have to make. I think before you make the investment, it's important for you to say, do I actually need private one-on-one support? Or am I just looking for a container that is going to give me personalized and customized feedback when I ask my questions in a timely manner? And if the answer is I want to make sure that I'm going to get my questions answered with direct feedback on the questions that I have in a timely manner, then a group coaching program is going to be amazing for you. And honestly, the benefit of being in a group program when you do need that one-on-one support, or you have these specific situations that you need perspective on, is that you're able to not only get access to the creator or the main coach who's built the program, but you're going to be in a container of other individuals who are going along the exact same journey that you are. So for example, we recently had a client inside of our group coaching program, and she was having an issue with her clients stealing her content and over mimicking it. And I'm bringing this up because this is the type of stuff that having a variety of perspectives on can be really, really helpful. We had another client who's she's increasing her client load, meaning that she's getting more people who are joining her program. She's experiencing more, just a higher volume of monthly recurring payments. And for the first time in her business, she's had multiple failed payments and didn't know how to handle the situation. This is the ugly side of group coaching. But when you can bring those questions, you might feel like that, oh my gosh, I'm having failed payments in my coaching program. What do I do? That maybe you feel like that's an experience that only you are having. But no, when you post that type of question in a group coaching container that's designed to help you work through that, you're not only going to get the perspective of the coach, but you're going to get the perspective of all these other successful business owners who are going to be able to share with you what their process is, how they work through it mentally, how who they outsourced it to, how they address the situation. And that type of situation really does allow you to get even more value out of that program, because now you're getting a variety of perspectives from a variety of successful business owners who can give you an idea in regards to how they handled that, how they processed that, how they navigated that situation. So that's the first point that I want to address, is that there's a lot of positive benefits in being in a group program. A lot of time, and I think maybe people have this they're connecting an experience they had in a course with what they expect they're going to get in a high ticket group coaching program. And those are two very different realities. So that's why I wanted to spend this time first, really just breaking down what you can expect in a course, what you can expect in a group coaching program, and what you can expect in private one-on-one. So you can start to make those distinction marks. And if this is helpful, if you guys are catching this live, please throw some hearts up on the screen if this is resonating. Or if you have any clarifying questions about that, pop it in the comments so I can address them. Because I want to make sure that what I'm putting down, you're picking up, and this is actually valuable content or valuable perspective for you. So that's the first thing. So now you're a participant in a group coaching program. What do you need to be doing? So the very first thing is that if you want to get individualized support, You need to be raising your hand. You need to be asking questions. You need to be showing up to the calls. And I can say 100% out of 100%. This is why we even offer a guarantee. So if you enroll in Leverage, which is my higher end, high touch point group coaching program, we have a guarantee that you will receive a 5x return on your investment if you show up, you do the work as instructed by me, and you implement what the process is designed for you to implement. We guarantee a 5x return on your investment. And the reason why I can offer that guarantee is because I have documented the results of my most successful clients. And I know that my most successful clients are inside of the Facebook group at least once a week asking a question. They're inside of the Facebook group at least once a week offering perspective and help to somebody else's question. My most successful clients come to every single coaching call that we hold, and we hold 2 a month. My most successful clients, their camera is always on when they are on that coaching call. My most successful clients, they implement our curriculum while they're learning it imperfectly. And after they implement, they come back and ask for feedback specific. They ask like, okay, hey Jay, I implemented the story seller prompts. I got 3 responses so far. Do I need to change my language to help increase my results the next time I publish it? It's not like, hey, I need feedback. Like, they're not vague. They are willing to, they will go implement based off of how the process is designed. And then they will come back and ask for feedback based off of something they've already done, not an idea that they're thinking about doing. And if they are coming to the group to ask for feedback on an idea, they will share that I'm considering doing this option and this option. So that's what I say, like, if you want individualized support inside of a group coaching program, you need to be the one that is showing up and asking for help. I think a lot of the time people get into group coaching programs and it's like, well, why isn't my coach holding me accountable? Your coach can only hold you accountable to the level at which you hold yourself accountable. And I think that's a really important, I put that on a Post-it note. Like, make that your screensaver on your phone for a week. Your coach can only hold you accountable to the level at which you are holding yourself accountable. And if you are not showing up, if you are not going through the curriculum, if you are not implementing the information that has been laid out, if you are not using the templates and the guides and the frameworks that they have been provided for you, if you are not coming to the coaching calls, like, you're not even holding there's a level of accountability that you must be holding and operating from yourself in order to receive. Like, your coach is going to be able to make touch points, and there's a whole other slew of things that we can do from a client experience and touch point perspective to make sure that clients don't fall through the cracks. And that's another conversation for another day. But I just think a lot of the time people enroll in group coaching programs and they expect the coach to be the one that's doing all the heavy lifting for them when they're not even moving their feet, or they're barely doing anything. So if you enroll in a group coaching program, you need to, and this is true even if you're working with a client, a coach one-on-one privately. Like, it's like you hiring a personal trainer. And it's like, well, why isn't my personal trainer showing up at my house? It's like, well, did you hire that person to come to your door to make you come to, like, get you in their car to for them to take you to the gym so that y'all can work out? No, it's on you to wake up in the morning, get dressed, and get to the studio or get to the gym so you guys can do your workout training. Like, that's not the expectation unless you pay for that. But like, I don't know any group coaching programs that are offering that as a level of accountability. That's not accountability at that level. So it's really important when you're in a group coaching program, ask yourself, and I think this is a really great evaluation tool, is, okay, how accountable am I holding myself to doing this program? And that should be the baseline of what I should expect from my coach. So that's the first thing, is that you, like, my most successful clients, if you want more support, then you need to be showing up. And my most successful clients, like I said, they are, asking questions on it at least once a week inside of the Facebook group. They're commenting and sharing, offering perspective on somebody else's post at least once a week in the Facebook group. They're sharing either a win or a lesson learned inside of the Facebook group. And I want to take some time to talk about this, because I think another way of holding yourself accountable isn't you always having all the answers to everybody else's questions, but it's just you offering a perspective on what they're going through as it relates to the curriculum that you're also, like, that you guys are all working through together, or sharing something that you made a mistake on and how you fixed it. Like, this is something that I would say probably like my top 5% of my clients do this. And quite honestly, those top 5% are also the ones that are growing at the fastest rate. Meaning maybe they started their business in January and they're already doing $150,000 this year. I'm talking about massive exponential growth. And I think this is the differentiator between individuals who are just doing what they're told to do versus those who have really stepped into their CEO role and have started to think about, they're just thinking at a different level. But this is the top 5% of my best clients. They will go into our Facebook group or on a group coaching call and share, I tried this, it didn't work out, and this is how I bounced back. Or they'll share a lesson learned and offer context in regards to what their experience was. And I think, and I'm breaking this down because what does it look like to hold yourself accountable? These are different ways to hold yourself accountable in the group. It's asking the questions, offering perspective, and answering other people's questions. Sharing a win and offering context in regards to how you got that win, sharing a lesson learned and offering context in regards to what the situation was and what you learned from it, coming to every coaching call, and if you can't make every call, but when you are on a call, you're fully present. You're not on a coaching call and doing client work. You're not they treat their coaching calls with me and that we offer inside of the coaching program the same way they would treat a client meeting. They're 100% present. Their camera is on. Their notebook is out, and they're willing and able. They're there to to contribute in the chat or to contribute by dialogue on the call, or they're there to learn in whatever the case may be. So that's the lay of the land in regards to those are maybe 5 or 6 different ways that you can hold yourself accountable in a group coaching program to ensure that you're getting the best and the most value out of it, while also making sure that you are getting the depth of the support that you need. So the different types of support that exist in group coaching programs, and this is what I offer in my programs, this is what I teach my clients. So if you're in a group coaching program that doesn't offer these things, just pay attention to the investment level, be clear on what the expectations are, but this is just what we offer. So we offer a range or a wide variety of client touch points to make sure that our clients are moving through the curriculum, getting the results in a timely manner, and that they have multiple points of opportunity to get support. So in our group coaching program, we have, what am I trying to say? We have tech support when a new client enrolls, meaning that we just make some really hyper touch points in the very, very beginning to make sure that clients are they know where to go, they are logged in and getting the support that they need, that type of thing. We have something that we call our client experience email sequence. And just a lot of the time people have email sequences for when they're going to be launching a program maybe, or when somebody opts into something, they have this, a lot of people have all these email sequences to get the buy, but they have no email sequence for their clients specific to the curriculum once they've enrolled. That's something else that we have, again, to be another touch point to help move clients through the process and to make sure that they know they're getting the support that they need. We have a community Facebook group, and this is something that we actually have written in our contract, that you will get a response inside of that Facebook group within 24 hours or less, so that no client has to go longer than a day without getting getting support that they need. And I think that's a really important thing. When you guys are enrolling in coaching programs, is that type of language detailed out in the contract? Or we have something we call a program promise, and our promise details out everything you can expect from us and everything we expect from you. So that's something that we have written in our guidelines. So we have a Facebook group support, and our Facebook group is pretty dynamic. So people are posting questions and sharing perspective on the normal timeline. But we also use the units tab, and we use the topic tags, which is another feature of Facebook groups to really because there's core curriculum and then there's support curriculum, examples and other aspects that help support our clients with getting the results. So we try to use all of those elements so that because there's core curriculum on how to implement the framework and do the thing to get the result that we promise. But, another type of support that we offer is these units tab, which is support curriculum. And then we have topic tags inside of the group to make it easier for people to search through the group. And then we have our group coaching calls. And our coaching calls are not just purely Q&A, stand in line, wait your turn. but we have like mastermind. We use like breakout rooms inside of Zoom, and like they're very interactive. So those are like, and the other type of support that we do provide is when somebody finishes a lead launch, they're reward based, then they earn a private one-on-one call with me to evaluate the data of their lead launch to help them identify where they need to pivot, where they need to make adjustments, so on and so forth. So like, there's like 5 different elements of touch points and support that we provide. And I think for you as a student inside of a group coaching program, just recognize what they are. And I would say, I would probably just identify, like just recognize where you can get support and when you can get support, and just make sure that you know what that is and what that looks like. Because I think that's really important. I think sometimes clients come into group coaching programs and maybe the curriculum creator, like the coach that you bought it from, doesn't do a good enough job actually explaining like these are the different channels of support. This is how you use these different channels of support. This is when you use these different channels of support. This is how you ask questions in these different channels of support. So if that curriculum isn't detailed out, that's a question that I would actually ask your coach when you enroll is, what are the different channels of touch points and communication? What's the timeline expectation on how long I should have to expect to wait to get a response? What are your hours of operations that I know when you guys are like out of the office and not at the desk versus when you're there? How should I be asking questions? Like, we have a framework on how we guide our clients to ask questions. Like, these are questions that you should be asking of your coach if these things have not been laid out for you. Because this allows you to get the best experience out of the program and to ensure that you're holding like yourself accountable because you know what the lay of the land is.
Are you running your business or running yourself into the ground? Seriously, having another 5-figure launch doesn't have to mean you've just added 15 additional one-on-one client calls to your calendar. It's time for you to leverage. Today's episode is brought to you by my group coaching program, Leverage. Leverage is a comprehensive, high-performance coaching program for expert service providers who are ready to reclaim their time and sustainably surpass 6 figures in the next 12 months. In order to do that, you must stop mimicking what you see other course creators doing. You don't want to create another low-priced DIY digital course, which you're struggling to sell in the first place. Why? Because you're in the getting results business, not the selling stuff business. On average, 10% of people who buy a course actually finish it. Out of those 10% that finish, how many of them do you think actually experience real results? Let's face the facts, not many. You started your business because you want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to make damn good money helping others get results using skills you've mastered. You want to get paid top dollar based on the value you deliver and the work with clients who are committed to doing the work required to get real life-changing results. We can leverage your one-on-one service into a sustainable business with a high-ticket group coaching program. Every day, we help coaches and service providers like you transform their one-on-one service into a sustainable business that is set up to automate the necessary aspects of your offer so you have the energy to show up, serve your clients, and increase your business growth month over month. If this is something that you'd be interested in, it's time for you to book a call with our leverage strategist today. Visit jerishahawk.com/leverage and let's create a game plan for you to figure out how you can take your successful one-on-one service and repackage that into a high-ticket group coaching program so that you can start surpassing 6 figures in a sustainable way. Visit jerishahawk.com/leverage to book your call today.
And this is you taking ownership, self-ownership and operating out of like self-accountability for the investment that you made. I think this is like why so many kids fail out of college or like struggle in school is because they expect the teacher to just like do everything for them. But when you're making a financial investment into this program, you need to be asking these questions if it is not given to you. Like, okay, so like, let me go meet with my teacher. When are your office hours? How do you like what's the best way for me to get the most value out of this program or to get the best grades? Like, you need to take ownership of that and stop waiting for somebody to give it to you. Because, and I say this because how you act and participate in a group coaching program is going to be very reflective to how you're going to lead inside of your company. And if you are not taking this level of ownership now, please tell me what type of leader you're going to be when you have multiple people on your team that you're now responsible for. And this also makes you a better coach. Because if you can be, if you're a really, really good student, you're going to be, a lot of the time, you're a really, really good coach. because you can anticipate the needs of your clients from a perspective that a lazy student would not be able to do as a coach, leading their own program. So it's like if you can be a really good student and a really good learner, a lot of the time you're going to be a really good leader and a really good coach, because you're going to be able to use those same skill sets of like anticipation, preparation. Let me anticipate the need. Let me anticipate what I think I'm going to need to do to get the best results out of this. Like, you're thinking beyond just doing what you're told. And that's going to directly correlate to how you lead and grow and run your business. So that's a different type of support that exists, and how I would advise that somebody like activate those levels of support. The third thing is how to schedule your time to ensure you do the work. I'm not sure if you guys have ever had this happen. Maybe a client was like, okay, I enrolled, I want this result, but I just don't have the time. Like, I don't have the time to fully implement this. Give me a refund. Or I don't have the time, so they just don't show up. And I think time I know for me, all the programs that we sell, they are at a defining marker or like a threshold line for our clients. Meaning, like, if somebody is joining Leverage, a lot of the reason why they're joining Leverage is because they're at a capacity constraint in their current one-on-one business model. And they're so booked out with one-on-one clients, or they have just a high volume of one-on-one clients, their time is already strapped, which is why they need to leverage and like scale beyond one-on-one with their high ticket group coaching program. Or if somebody joins Legacy, which is our new program that we're rolling out for those who are doing over 200K, trying to surpass that $1 million mark with lean operations and high profit margins, they're joining that program because like they're probably doing a couple $100,000 a year. But they're the one doing a lot of the work in the business, and they have not yet delegated and like moved stuff off their plate so they can scale and grow operationally. So if somebody joins either one of my coaching programs, it's because they are at a time, like they're at capacity from a time perspective in how they're currently running their business. Okay. So I know that time is of the essence. Like, I know that you don't have a lot of extra time, but if you keep operating your business the way that you have been operating it, I can guarantee you're not going to free up any of your time unless you just stop taking clients and reduce your revenue, which is not the case. Like, that's not what the type of clients I work with. So I want to point this out because I think this is also a really, it's a struggle point for a lot of people. But this is how I would work through this. And this is what I tell my clients and what my best clients have done. So if you know that you're in this time constraint point in your business, but you know that the way that you've been operating is not going to serve you to get to the next level. I always say, whenever you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else instantaneously. So when you do choose, like, you have to make the choice. If I join this coaching program that is aligned with where I'm at in my business, it's aligned with the type of result and the outcome that I'm looking to get, and it's going to help me work through this threshold, then it's like, if I say yes to this, I need to say no to something else. And saying no to something else might mean like, I'm going to take 2 hours of my Saturday morning to dedicate to going through this curriculum. I'm going to treat this coaching program like as if it were a new paid client on my calendar. And you have to treat it like you have to be fully committed to it. So one of the things that we do, we have a therapist who's inside of Leverage right now, and she has a really successful private practice. And then she's launching a group coaching program, teaching other private practice owners how to grow their private practice through like social media marketing and stuff like that. And she was like, Jay, I just don't have the time. Like, I have so many private one-on-one like therapy clients I need to take. Like, my group coaching program is off, or whatever. I said, treat this program like a college course, and our coaching calls, you need to treat like their therapy sessions. Meaning that, like, if a client booked a therapy session on their calendar, you would make the time for it because they paid you. I want you to treat this the exact same way. You pay to be here. Commit to it the exact same way that you would commit to a client call. And for her, it really helped her shift her perspective on how she looked at this. Because I think sometimes when we are investing in things that are for our benefit, or at first it feels like it's only our benefit, we can like, because y'all know, how easy is it for you to like brush over or work through your self-care time? like meditation, yoga, eating healthy, like, you know what I mean? Like going for the walk, like going to bed early. You'll be so quick to be like, that's for me. I'll do it later. And when you join a coaching program, sometimes we can be operating under that same mindset that like, oh, it's a coaching call for me. No, I'm going to go do client work. Oh no, I need to be working on my curriculum to help me get beyond that 200K mark. No, I'm going to just do something for somebody else. And it's like we have to recondition our brain to recognize that this is just not like a nice to have. You would not be spending $12,000 in a coaching program if it was a nice to have. You wouldn't be spending $30,000 to join a high level program if it was a nice to have. You wouldn't be dropping $3,000 on a program if it was a nice to have. There's something that you know that you need. And it's just we have to shift our perspective on how we associate with it. So we have to recognize that this is just not a nice to have for you. If you're making a significant investment, understand that it may be a sacrifice of your time now in the short term, but in the next 6 weeks, in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, it can change not only your life, it will change the dynamic of your family's life. It'll change the dynamic of your interaction with your kids. It'll change the caliber of interaction that you have with your clients. Like you have got to treat it like understand that there might be a short-term sacrifice, but it's for the benefit of a long-term gain. And the time is going to pass either way. So you can make the decision, again, whenever you say yes to something, you're instantaneously saying no to something else. So if you choose not to treat it like that, imagine you operating in your business the way that you have been operating in it for another year. It can literally bring you to the point of like burning out if you don't change your behavior. And that's, I would assume, why you joined the coaching program in the first place. So you have to schedule your time. Like I would treat it whatever you value most in your life, I would treat it with that same level of perspective. So if it's like, well, if a client's on my calendar, no matter what I'm doing, I will pull over on the side of the road to be on that call. That's how you need to treat the support that you're getting inside of your coaching program. For those of you guys who are good students in college, because there are some people who go to college and never showed up to class because they didn't pay for it. So it's like, if y'all were trash students in college, disregard this analogy. But if you were a really good student in college, treat it like college. Like I know when I was getting my engineering degree, I had, I would get my own calendar. I'd map out my time schedule. I'd map out when I needed to be on the bus so I could get to class. I would dedicate study hours on my calendar. So you need to treat it the exact same way. So one thing that we do to kind of hopefully make this a little bit easier for our clients, you guys can totally steal this. The Google calendars, you can have shareable Google calendars. So we create a shareable Google Calendar for where all of our coaching calls are on so that our clients can just add it to their Google Calendar. They don't have to go in and register for every Zoom meeting. They just need to share that. They need to add that Google Calendar that we give them to their calendar, and that's all they have to do. So at least they have all of our coaching calls already on their Google Calendar. And we set it up to have notifications in Google so that it goes off 15 minutes before and that type of thing. The second thing that I would have you do after you schedule whenever your coaching calls are is I would schedule when my study time is going to be, right? You have, Zara's right. Treat it like college that you're paying for out of pocket. Exactly. So many people, I know so many of my friends who were trash in college because their parents were paying for it, or they had student loans, but because it wasn't coming out of their pocket immediately, they just didn't take it as seriously. But when you're joining a coaching program, you paying for that. I would treat it with the same level of value and integrity. So I would literally schedule when all my coaching calls are going to be. I would schedule my study time to implement the actual material. And this is why when you guys enroll in coaching programs, I would also ask the creator, how is the curriculum actually laid out? Because this is something that I do for my clients. We tell them how to do this, but, and this is what I do. I make sure that there's a reason why I stagger when all of my curriculum is accessible to force my clients to know what they need to focus on when, so that they can ensure that they are only doing the work that's necessary for them to get the result without getting any distractions. So for example, and this is a way that you can structure your curriculum to help kind of aid in your clients being able to manage their time effectively. This is why I don't have any group coaching programs where you get all the curriculum at one time, because I know I know it's easy to get distracted. And I know my curriculum is designed in a way that when you finish one thing, it's the foundation that you're going to build the next layer on. So it's very like building block type of thing. But that's something that we do, is that we make sure, like, when you enroll in Leverage, for example, our number one goal is for you to finish a lean launch in the first 90 days. So we only give you curriculum access to help you do your lean launch in those first 90 days. We do not give you access to any curriculum that's going to show you how to repurpose your content until after you finish your lean launch. We're not giving you any access to curriculum that's going to show you how to refine your curriculum or enhance your curriculum or any of that until after you finish your lean launch, because I don't want any client getting distracted by the amazing curriculum that we have until they've actually made some money. And that's why we structure the curriculum that way, but it also helps them from a time management perspective. It's like, okay, if I only have 2 hours a week until I've been able to create this Leverage container, what are the essential things that I need to focus on so that I can get momentum, get my time back by having this high ticket group coaching program, like where I'm able to take 4 of these one-on-one clients and put them in a group container. And that's why we design our curriculum that way. And that's just another tidbit. But as a student, it's just important for you to recognize, okay, how do I set up my study schedule? How do I map out when my coaching calls are going to be to ensure that I'm dedicating time to do the work, and treating it with the same level of value and integrity you would if it were an actual client on your calendar. And recognizing that this is just not a nice to have for you, but it's going to positively impact your clients, your family, your personal life, your personal mindset, and your well-being. It's going to have a positive effect on everything when you can get these results. So I just think this is, those are some things that I would advise, to help you hold yourself accountable in a group coaching program, is that, like, if you want more support, show up, ask questions. You can get individualized, customized attention without it needing to be private. And quite honestly, I'd say you get actually a better value when you are doing it in a group container because you're able to get the perspective of many. There's different types of support that exist. Understand what those types of support are and how to best utilize those channels of support. Ask your coach how you think that how they advise or what their framework is for you to ask questions. Because again, the quality of your question will determine the quality of the response that you get, and how to schedule your study time to ensure you do the work. Treat it like whatever you view as most valuable, treat it from that same level of integrity and mindset. And again, also recognize that when you're in a coaching program or a group coaching program, this is practice for the real world. Like, I say this all the time, and I wholeheartedly believe it. This is practice for the real world. Running a business takes a significant amount of personal accountability and responsibility. And if you, this is a really great place for you to practice that level of accountability and responsibility. It's a great place for you to practice decision making. And it's a safe place to practice it too, because if you screw up or quote unquote make the wrong choice, you know that you're in a safe container that's going to help you get back on track. And I think this is, again, a caveat that a lot of people don't think about. They think about, well, I'm a student, whatever. It's like, if you're doing this to grow your business, practice that this is practice for the real world. Treat it like how you would want to be operating in your business. What type of decision maker do you want to be? What type of leader do you want to be? How do you want to show up? Because how you show up here can be very reflective of how you show up in your business. For your clients, for your team members, for your audience building. And it's just a really great and safe place for you to practice that. When projects are going to get done, that's something you have to do in your business as a CEO. How am I, knowing what to prioritize when, where to focus, what to focus on to help grow the company. These are all decisions you have to make as a business owner. And when you're inside of a group coaching program, you have to be the same decisions that you're making there to get through the process and to get through the curriculum is a good practice for you just as a business owner for you to sharpen those skills. So again, you have to own the outcome of the results that you get or do not get when you're in a group coaching program. And you have to own your level of accountability. You have to own the responsibility that you're showing up in. And I really hope that this episode maybe advanced your perspective or gave you a new way of looking at things so that you can get the most value out of any investment that you make. And also so that's what I have for you. So I really, really hope this is helpful. Like I said, if you have clients that need to hear this, feel free to share this episode with them. so they can come listen to this. Like, listen to what Jerisha said. This is how we need to operate here. Go listen to that. If you have somebody on your team that needs to hear this, or maybe you need to hear this again, save this, do all the things, share it to your Instagram stories per the usual. And if you're somebody who is looking to grow their own high ticket group coaching program, who needs support with putting these elements in place, I would love to have a conversation with you. You can book a call with our leverage specialist at jerishahawk.com/leverage. If you're somebody who's ready to surpass that 200K mark with a high ticket group coaching program. So you can book a call with us, jerishahawk.com/leverage. And I would love to continue the conversation to see if we can support you with getting your business to where it is that you want to go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Like I said, tag me on Instagram stories and let me know what your top takeaway was. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.
Hey there, Hawk Hustler. Thanks for subscribing and listening today. If you're at capacity with one-on-one clients and you want to sustainably surpass 6 figures by introducing a high-ticket group coaching program to your business, visit www.jerishahawk.com/leverage to book a leverage strategy call with our specialist. Within 40 minutes, you'll complete a targeted business assessment, helping you identify exactly where the gaps exist in your current business that's keeping you from building the multi-6-figure business you know that you're capable of. This assessment will give you insight on how you can scale without diluting your client experience along the way. Book a call with our leverage strategist today at jerishahawk.com/leverage.